How do you say, like, we're losing our shirts in 120 characters or less or something like this? Take a look at Twitter, now falling better than 13.5% on an earnings report that, as Connell brought up earlier, looked good until people started hearing the conference call and say, well, maybe it isn't that good. So you got Twitter in trouble, you've got Yelp in trouble, and a lot of people are saying maybe tech is in trouble. Ryan Tate, on that and whether we're witnessing something larger. I think that these are two individual cases. I think by and large, Ryan, you're the expert here, but I think that's a big generality. I don't think it's fair. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I don't think tech in general is in trouble. I think actually tech is the future of our country in a lot of ways. And when you look at the way that everyone's going about doing business these days, you've got to have a good tech position. So I don't think tech's the problem. I think when you look at organizations or companies like Twitter, Twitter's in trouble because they're losing their growth strategy. They've got a leadership mess at the top. Their current CEO doesn't know if he really wants to be there or not. They're getting larger and they're growing, yet they've never turned a profit. And Neil, how many times do you and I sit here and we talk about unrealistic valuations of companies that have never turned a profit, yet they're getting hundreds of millions in funding? And I think that's what you're looking at here.
But wasn't that the case with Facebook when it started? I know night and day difference. I know they're very different entities. But, I mean, there were a lot of doubters with Facebook. Again, I'm not drawing an inference tie, but I do think that we get ahead of ourselves here, right? Or no?
Absolutely. I think so. But again, when you look at the growth of the user base, and that's not something that Facebook got in trouble with.
Very true.
When you look at what's happening with Twitter, they've plateaued. They don't have a new growth strategy. They don't have a new way of making money. They've not heavily invested in their corporate integration. They're still making money the exact same way they did when they first launched their IPO. So when your users plateau, when you're not having those growths and you've never learned how to turn a profit, that's a downward trend and a spiral to the bottom. And I think you end up with a stock price that's south of $20
Do you
when
really?
everything self-corrects. I do, especially because I think the valuation is staying high right now, Neil, because they're wanting an acquisition or they're wanting some sort of strategic merger.
No, I definitely think you're right on that. Ryan, thank you very much. Ryan Tate follows this industry very, very well.